You're now listening to Hispanics Causing Panic, baby. Let's do this.
But right now, Hispanics are causing black. Right now, Hispanics are causing black. Yeah, you know, Hispanics are causing panic.
What's going on, everybody? This is D-Stop Boxing, being joined by the one and the only show. I'll be from Ringside Reporter. Just filling in for Nancy this week from Boxing Republic. She couldn't make it this week, but we're going to start right out of the gate with the one and the only Danny Roman. That is the baby-faced assassin. How's it going, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. It's crazy weather here in LA. But yeah, everything's good overall.
Okay, crazy weather. What type of weather is it? Like raining over there? What's going on?
Yes. Well, this past days it's been really hot, and today is cloudy and I believe so a couple of rain.
Okay. All right. It was snowing in El Paso last week, which surprised me. So it must be a crazy thing going on. First of all, thanks again for coming on. This is Danny Roman, everybody. If you're living under a rock, 29 wins, only 3 defeats, 1 draw. First of all, I mean, you're coming off a great performance in your last fight, and I think you're ready. As far as you know, for the one and the only Stephen Fulton. Before I ask you about Stephen Fulton, though, what did you make of his performance against Figueroa?
Oh, that night, the unification bout against Figueroa was a good fight. It was a close fight. Really hard to score. I was there that night, but the winner of that night, it was Fulton. You know, but it was overall it was a great fight. You know, great performance by both of them.
You were scouting, you were checking him out, you seeing his moves, studying him.
Of course, you know, because I won the mandatory back in September 2020, so I knew between them, they had to be a winner that night. So either Figueroa or Fulton. So I mean, I was ready. Even when Nettie was champion, I was challenging him, waiting for the opportunity. Figueroa won. He decided he wanted to unify the belt. So I waited. Now it's my chance. Either one it was, either Fulton or Figueroa.
Oh, you don't care who it was. You just wanted your shot.
Of course.
Well, one more question about that fight. Who do you personally feel won? Because I feel Figueroa won, but others disagree. I know my partner up here, he feels Fulton won, but everyone feels different. How did you personally see it?
Like I said, it was a close fight. Yeah, but I was gonna have to see the fight again, honestly, because for me it could have gone either way.
Yeah, speaking of close fights, you've been on the wrong end of some close decisions, and you have a counterpunching style yourself. Do you feel as though the judges appreciate that counterpunching style that you have? You feel like you get full credit for that as a fighter?
Well, from when I lost the belts, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Even some body shots. I know I landed a lot of body shots against MJ, and it seems like they didn't count. But you know, you gotta respect the judge's decision.
Yeah, it seemed like you were trying to set him up for counters, and you were taking that step back. And a lot of times when the judges see a guy take a step back, automatically they think, oh, he's retreating. But in my opinion, when I look back at those Marquez Pacquiao fights, it's the same thing with those fights. I thought Marquez won at least 2 of those first 3 fights. And because he was backing up and circling and trying to, walk Pacquiao into the right hand, I don't think he got the credit. And I sometimes when I watch you fight, I don't think the judges always appreciate your counterpunching style, because I see you setting traps and stuff. And I think a lot of judges and even fans don't appreciate that crafty style that not only you have, but a lot of counterpunchers have as well.
I don't think. Well, if you see the fight again, you'll see that most of the punches I was blocking them or I was running with them.
Yeah.
And I guess the judges saw that the guy was hurting me just because I took, like you said, that step back.
Yeah, it seemed like you were trying to bait him in and walk him into stuff, and you did counter him a lot. I felt it was a very close fight. It was a very tough fight to score, but it could have gone either way. It was close.
So I want to ask you something. So, I mean, I understand there's going to be things you can't say and stuff like that, which is respectable. But what you can, like, I mean, you were the mandatory. What were they telling you? Like were they telling you, "Oh, don't worry, you're gonna get the winner," or like what type of things were you being told? When because I remember when you were here, you said, "Hey, I want Fulton." Like, you know what I mean? So you were calling everybody out. So at the end of the day, like, what were you being told? Like, take us behind as much as you can behind the curtain as a fighter who's a mandatory, has earned a shot. Like, what were you being told?
All right, so I'm gonna have to go all the way back to September 2020. So I won the title eliminator. I became the mandatory for the WBC. That night, Neri beat Alameda, Aaron Alameda, and so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna face Neri. So that came in. He decided he wanted Figueroa was a regular champion of the WBA, and he wanted to unify the belt against Figueroa. And I was like, come on, it was. I even told him, I was like, give me the chance, I'm the mandatory. I'm the guy that's in front of you. So, okay. So basically, they told me, you know what, step aside. They're going to fight. I did it. Now, they try to, I guess they try to do that against with Fulton and MJ. He's like talking about being the disputed champion, unify all the belts. I was like, nah, you know what? I ain't gonna step. I'm not gonna step aside again. Now it's my chance. I waited too long. I waited more than a year for that opportunity, and I believe I deserve it.
Why do you think they are avoiding you?
Say it again?
¿Por qué piensas que te están evitando?
Because I think they're avoiding me because they know the caliber of fighter I am. They know it's not gonna be an easy fight. And I don't blame them, I don't tell them it's not going to be an easy fight, I come prepare 100%, get in the best shape I can. And even they know that I didn't lose those belts against MJ. I didn't think I'd lose the fight. You got to do way more to beat the champion. And I don't think MJ did that night. But, like I said, it happened already. Okay. The guys in front of me right now is Fulton. And that's the fight. That's the fight I won. So that's the guy I'm worried about.
What do you feel when they told you that you are going to fight against Fulton?
No, I mean I've been with different type of fighters, and Fulton, he showed that he's a champion for a reason that night, and he got what it takes. So it's a challenge for me as well, as for him. And because, like I'm always saying, even when I was champion, I was challenging the rest of the champions. I wanted all the belts, so I understand him as well. But you know what? I'm the guy that's in front of you, and I believe I'm like the best in the division as well too. So, I don't got my belts, but
So that's the fight you want most next, is that Stephen Fulton fight. That's the one you're really shooting for.
Yes.
Okay. So would you say right now he's the best in the division?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you feel, I mean, obviously you're older shot. Like Fulton should fight you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think he wants to fight you?
Well, as a fighter, well, I think I'll fight anybody they put in front of me, and I don't know how he thinks. I can't speak for him, but you're gonna have to ask him that question.
Okay. What if they came to you and said, "Hey, man, I understand we already asked you to do this, but one more time, can you step aside for Undisputed, and we'll give you the winner?" Like, what at that point, what would you say?
No, man,
No
I'm
way.
not. No, because it's just gonna keep on going like that.
That's how they always do it. You know how
That's how they
they
do it.
how many
It's like-
eliminators? You have to fight like 3 eliminators before they make you. Then they make you the
Right.
mandatory, but then they still have to order the fight. You could be the mandatory like Dillian White was. I'm not trying to jinx you or anything, but we see how these things play out, But let me ask you, because you were champion for a while before you lost your titles.
Mhm.
Talk about that process of having to not only rebuild with the fights, but mentally. How do you work through that as a fighter? Because obviously, it's a downer, right? And you have to. Do you have to rebuild your confidence mentally as well as physically in training and in fights? How do you work yourself through that?
Being a champion or losing the title?
After losing the title and now you're on the comeback trail. How is that? How do you feel? How's that process as a fighter? Because you had it all and now you have to start over again. Talk about that whole situation.
Yes, well, losing the titles and I know I didn't lose them
Yeah.
that night is way harder than actually losing them by that you got beat.
Yeah.
And then not getting the rematch afterwards, made it worse. So I was like, you know what? Well, I gotta keep on training. I gotta keep my eyes focused on the goal, and that is get back again to the top, step by step. And that's I didn't look ahead that long. I just like, you know what? I'm gonna take it a step at a time.
Yeah. I guess what I mean is obviously you're disappointed after the loss, but how long does that disappointment last before you say to yourself, damn it, I just got to get back on the horse and I got to get going. I can't dwell on this. How long did it take you to get over the loss, in other words?
For me, I will say it took a while.
Yeah.
It took a while, and I think it depends on every fighter as well. It depends how it affects you mentally. Some people are strong mentally. Some of them, might take it different. But for me, it took me a while. I was like, you know what? And it was my first loss after 7 years before losing to Juan Reyes, my second loss. So this third loss, it was 7 years later, and I forgot how it was to lose. So I was like, you know what? Good thing I got good people around me, my team, my family. They support me, and they help me get back on top. Mentally, especially my family. But yeah, you get those thoughts. It's like, you know what? Is this it, or should I keep on going? And I think at that point, every fighter goes through that, and you gotta fight that. You can't stay there. You gotta fight that feeling. You know what? You gotta keep on pushing it. It's the only way. Keep going forward.
So speaking of that, assuming and it should happen, right? But it's boxing. But assuming that the Fulton fight happens, how important is that fight for you? Like winning that fight.
Oh, being against a fighter like that, and him being the unified champion, and having the WBO and WBC, that's the two belts I need to have for the collection. So that's why I say it's the biggest fight of my career, as you can say.
I guess what I'm getting at is, does it feel like a must win? Like I gotta win this fight, or like is it something you'll be able to handle, like not winning that fight? Because you mentioned the disappointment of the MJ loss, but
Yes.
to not be able to, get that win and that big platform again, does it feel very must win to you?
Yes, I think so. so I can like prove to the people I still got it. Because he's the best. I consider one of the best in the divisions, you know. And if I want to keep on doing this, if I want to keep on going forward, and if I want to get the rest of the belts, he's the guy I got to beat.
Now you've been in this division at 122 for I want to say 10 years or so, correct?
Yes.
Been in this division for a long time. And usually the little guys, I hate to say little guys, the smaller weight fighters, they tend to move up frequently because the divisions are so close in pounds, 2 or 3 pounds. How long do you think you could stay at this weight? And if you do regain the titles at this weight, do you want to unify or do you want to be a multi-weight weight champion? What are the goals?
Well, I'll start off with if everything goes great on this fight, I end up getting the fight with Fulton. Say we win, we become the unified champion again. I would like the rematch with MJ. I still feel like I'm finished business with him.
Wow.
If not, I could go down to 18 with no problem.
Oh, so you'd go down instead of going up. Okay.
And if not, you know, I mature more. My body matures a little bit more. I can even go up to 26. I don't mind. You know?
So you see yourself at 126 one day then?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay.
I have an hypothetical question. If you have the opportunity to choose, imagine that you are not going to fight against Stephen Fulton, and you have the opportunity to choose between Stephen Fulton or Akhmadaliev. Who you choose?
That's a good question.
If I had an option, and both of them were a choice.
Yeah, MJ.
Of course, MJ. Of course, you know, I still got that. Like I said, unfinished business with MJ.
So that's going to stay with you for the rest of your career until you get that rematch.
Do you think that Matchroom is going to put you in front of MJ again?
That's a great question. You know, even after the fight, we kept on challenging him. I kept on calling him out. Give me the rematch, and I think the right thing was to do. It was a rematch because it was a close fight. And I gave him the opportunity to fight me when I was a champion. So I was like, hey, return the favor back. But, you know, I'm a fighter. By the end of the day, I'm going to fight whoever they put in front of me. So
Okay, I will ask you the same, but before I am going to tell you something. MJ said that he's scared to get knocked out since his teammate was knocking out Melikuziev was knocking out by Gabriel Rosado. So after these wars, do you think that Eddie Hearn is going to put Akhmadaliev in front of you because you know you have the opportunity to knock him out?
that's a great question. But I hope they do. I don't know their team. I don't know their plans. But like for me, I really want that fight, you know, because he knows he didn't beat me, you know, because if you know you beat somebody, you wouldn't mind giving him a rematch, you know. But politics.
And it was close, and he didn't even have that many fights, and he got his shot, so he should have given you a rematch for sure. So there's no doubt about that. Now, you mentioned 118, right?
Yes.
So from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very comfortable, 1 not comfortable at all, how comfortable can you make 118?
You said from 1 to 10?
Like 10 being like very, very comfortable, making it like it's nothing, and 1's like horrible, right? So like scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you making 118? Do you think?
I would say an 8.
Wow.
Trip to the
Do you like
bathroom,
it?
Trip to
So
the
I mean,
bathroom.
Not like that. Get me. You get ready for a situation like that.
So because you'll be bigger, your punches will have more sting. Like you know, like you think you'll keep your power and everything, and not just make the weight, but you'll still be yourself.
Well, naturally, I started at 118, but like they moved me up to 122. So that's why you like all this guys bigger than me. But you know, I mature to the weight, and I still think I could get 118.
Yeah,
So
you know.
Like you stay away from tacos and enchiladas and all that, right? Like,
I mean, there's a time for everything, you know. But once training camp starts, or we start getting back to the gym, you know, we start like we'll have it eventually once in a while, but not like for me to go crazy and pick up that much weight.
Well, but does the in a while go away if you go down to 118 though? Like are the are the tacos like they're you can't even smell them now, right? I mean, like
no. I don't think I get to that level.
okay,
I'll still eat them, you know, but I won't.
So if you give up the tacos and all, you can make 115.
That's a hard question.
But we don't want to do that, right? No, but here's the thing, right? So 118. There's some like Monster Inouye's there, you know, for like that's a big name in boxing. Like is that a fight you would be willing to drop to 118 for if it became available?
Of course, you got great champions at 118. You got Casimiro, Donaire, the Monster, Inoue, and I mean, I'm here to fight the best. You know, you put a guy in front of me like that caliber of a fighter, I'm gonna be excited.
Okay.
Yeah, because Donaire dropped down. He was a 122 pounder. He went back down to 118 and won a title. So it could be done. It could definitely be done. Now speaking of the smaller weight fighters, I remember growing up, I've been watching boxing for a while, and I remember that the lighter weight guys didn't get a lot of exposure, but now we're seeing the lighter weight guys on Showtime. We're seeing them on the Zone. Talk about the exposure the lighter weight fighters have gotten, and how do you feel about that? You must be excited that you're able to be on the Zone and be showcased on television a lot. You know, talk about that a little bit. Have you seen the difference and the appreciation that not only, you know, the networks, but Eddie Hearn has really put on a lot of lighter weight fights, and he's promoted a lot of lightweight fights recently. How excited are you about that? And do you see a difference in how boxing has evolved?
Of course, you know, usually it was the heavier guys, you know, middleweight, welterweight, heavyweights, and all this light fighters, low weight class fighters that were even mentioned how they were a couple years back, and now like they're getting this all this exposure is good, you know, because I'm in that weight class, so you got a lot of talent as well, and the low weight class fighters too. We even got this great fighter, you know, Bam Rodriguez. Yeah. What he just did, man. Congrats to him, and hats off to him. You know, you got fighters like that. They don't get back then they weren't getting that exposure, but there always been fighters like that, and now they're getting it. So it's great for me, and it's great for them as well too.
Yeah, because back in my day, it was like Michael Carbajal, Humberto Gonzalez, and Johnny Tapia, and that was it. You know, and then Prince Nassim came around at 126. So it took a while for it to get where it is now, and I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. I'm glad that guys like yourself are able to be on you know, the networks a lot now. It's good. It's good for boxing. I think people are starting to realize that the smaller weight guys can fight too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they've always been the most skilled in my opinion, but you know, people didn't follow them as much, but. I want to ask you this, Danny. So right now, you know, we have, you know, like a lot of fans really like, you know, they always have been, but especially now in the age of social media, they're really pushing undisputed, right? Mm-hmm. When you were coming up as a boxer, was being undisputed like in your mind, like the way it is now? Is that something you notice as well?
Nowadays it is. When I started back when I was starting, well, everybody wanted to be champion. They weren't speaking about unifying or being undisputed. Right. And this past few years, you've seen it more, and it's good. You know, I think it's good because you see champions against champions. You know, and you end up seeing the best coming out. You know, like Crawford, Taylor. So.
Yeah,
you see great fights, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna get the Castano, you know, Charlo fight in a couple of months, right, for Undisputed. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we get heavyweight Undisputed. So it looks like a lot of weight class. I'm just noticing now that for a while it was like 2 decades we had like one undisputed champion. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of undisputed fights, and I just wanted your perspective of that as a fighter. Like, and it sounds like you welcome that, right? Like that's something that
Yes.
you like. Okay.
What do you think about the multiplex belts? For example, the super champion, the regular champion. Do you think that that belt should exist?
Uh,
Makes people confused.
yes, yeah. Well, the people that don't know boxing, they get confused because they say, "How come there's so many champions in the division?" And well, growing up, there was only one champion.
Yeah,
That
but
was.
when Figueroa was going to fight against Eneri, Figueroa was the
Mhm.
regular champion, and anybody understand why they can't unify? So if you can't unify, why you are creating a belt that have sense?
I agree with you, but you got this organizations from boxing. I don't know why they do it, but gives them an extra title, But like eventually, you gotta have a one title for an organization like that.
Mhm.
You can see who the real champion is at the division.
Well said. I want to ask you this. So this is a what if, right? But if the WBC names Fulton the franchise champion, and then they tell you, but don't worry, we're going to make you our, WBC champion.
Another belt.
What would you accept the belt?
I don't even want to think like that. I don't want to think like that. If I look, I won my titles from champions. I went to Japan, won the WBA against Sean Kubo. He was a current champion at that time. I flew all the way to Japan, and I knocked him down. Knocked him out, and I believe in the 10th round, 9th to 10th. And then I unify against Doheny, which TJ Doheny did the same thing. He went to Japan, beat the Japanese champion, and became champion over there at IBF. And in order to be a champion, that's how I think. My titles they weren't making. I actually fought a champion to beat him to get him.
Like you want to take the belt from Fulton.
Of course, that's what you want. Like I don't want to waste my time like that. I'm here to fight the best.
There you go. Are you ready for like, and again, and again, you don't have to go into details or anything like that, but whatever you can tell us, are you and your team ready for what you don't want, which is Fulton not fighting you and they end up doing some shenanigans or something like the sanctioning bodies? Are you ready for that? Like, are you ready for that possibility, or do you have faith that Fulton will fight you?
I got faith, man. I got faith he will fight me. I don't want to think negative that he's not.
All right.
In my mind, I want to think that he's gonna fight me.
There you go. All right. And you know what? And I got to be honest, like Fulton does strike me as a guy that will fight you. You know what I mean? And I think you want to fight him, and that's the type of fight I want to see. You know what I mean? When two guys want to test each other. So,
of course, a lot of people have been telling me, that would be a great fight. They want to see that fight. I think he's the best in the division. That people want to see the best fights in the division, and that people have been asking for that fight as well. So hey, let's give the people what they want to see.
So, how long can you wait for him? Are you gonna have a fight lined up soon, or are you gonna just wait to see what he does next? What's this timetable and the schedule like moving forward?
Well, my people are talking to his people. They're
So you're in talks right now.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay,
there you go.
gotcha.
That's not sources say.
That's from your mouth.
Right. That's the thing on social media. You know what I mean? But hey, I think that's a fight. I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm going to be optimistic and hope that fight, as a boxing fan, it's a fight I definitely want to see. And then the winner of that can fight MJ, I guess, for Undisputed, because I think that'll be another big fight lined up, right? So, I mean, what a better way to get your rematch with MJ if it's for an Undisputed fight, right?
That'll be great. if that's what it gotta take to get that rematch, let's go.
He's gonna fight MJ on the moon if he has to. He doesn't care.
Jupiter. Just don't say Jupiter.
If you fight against MJ again, what would you change? Because in the first fight you was criticized because you started your fight a little bit late. So if you have the opportunity to fight him again, what are you going to change?
Now there's a few adjustments we got to do. You're right. I started late. Started picking it up after the third, fourth round, and I guess those first rounds made a difference in the fight, made it even closer. So now we know we can't do that, and I gotta prove to the judges if I gotta knock them out, I gotta knock them out.
Now, I don't want to torture you because I know you're a professional athlete, you know what I mean, and all that. So talking about food, I know, but I need to ask you, what are your favorite type of tacos? You know what I mean? Like when Danny Roman, that once in a while comes up, because me, I like barbacoa. Those are my favorite.
Yeah,
Right?
no, look, I like birria. I like birria. I like barbacoa. I like asada. I eat all type of tacos. I eat tripa,
We don't discriminate.
cachete, cachete, cabeza, lengua.
Oh, this is lengua for sure. Man.
The next question D-Style has for you is he's going to ask you if you want to go out for tacos sometime.
Listen, after the show, man, I'm gonna go.
Shit through.
And what's your favorite like cuisine, like Mexican cuisine?
Birria.
Like any,
Birria.
okay.
Yeah, I like birria, especially the one my mom makes.
Oh, hey, those are the best. Yeah, you know what I mean, for sure. Yeah, but Beast from Boston, he doesn't know anything about Mexican food. That's why he's thrown off. Right?
No, you gotta take him out, man. You gotta show him the real food.
Yeah, you gotta get some beef. You gotta get out of Boston. You know what I mean? Once in a while.
Pizza over here. We have pizza over here.
Pizza, there you go. We don't got no pizza over here. You know what I mean? So what's for us the fans, like, what's like a regular day, like when you're in training camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep, like more or less, like what's the day in the life of Danny Roman during the training camp?
Once training camp, I'll give you a Monday and a Tuesday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday usually is sparring days. So I get up early, go for a run, come back home, have some breakfast, and start getting ready for the gym. I get to the gym, warm up, get ready to spar, and the sparring depends how many rounds I'll be doing that day. Usually it's from 4 and up, 4, 5, 6, 8 rounds. Do the regular training after that. Practice whatever for whoever we're gonna go against. That finished, come back home, take a shower. Sometimes we might do double sessions. It all depends. So if not, then usually I'll be around the family or try to recover, because I know the next day I'm gonna wake up early. Tuesday comes up, I'll be up early. Either we do mountain or we do beach workout. Then after that, come back home, shower, take a breakfast, and do strength and conditioning. And from there, head straight to the boxing gym. So it's just busy working out, or if not working out, with the family. If not with the family, I'll be in church.
There you go. That's a lot of work, brother. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, and the reason I ask that is because, sometimes, people are like, man, these boxers, look at the money they make and one night of fighting. But it's not just the fight, right? It's the training camp. It's the lead up to it. It's the sacrifice you make, during training camp and all that, which is why I like to see fighters make as much money as they possibly can personally. So I do hope that and I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic that the fight is going to happen with Fulton.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great fight for us boxing fans. It's, so Beeb, do you have any other questions, brother?
I was going to ask one last question, because you and Fulton are counterpunchers. Do you feel as though you'd have to take the lead in that fight? What role would you play in that fight, and how do you think that fight would play out?
I think the fight with Fulton will be more like a chess game. Who outsmarts the other one?
Yeah.
He might take the lead. I might take the lead. We'll just have to do, who makes the proper adjustments for the fight. I think a fight will be like that. If not, if we got to do adjustments during the fight, we'll do them. It's a fight that he's a smart fighter. He knows what he's doing inside the ring, as well as myself. So like I said, I'll be more like a chess game.
Yeah, so that's a fight where you'd have to bring multiple game plans to that one.
Yes.
I got you. All right.
I have
Sure.
3 questions. Sorry.
Mhm.
Which is the difference between a training camp for defend your world title and a training camp to win a world title and a training camp to recover your world titles? Which is the difference of training camps?
For me, I when I was a champion, I was training like I wasn't a champion. You know, every I know every training camp is different, but the mentality is you got to work out. You know, you got to work out because you got to either defend the belts or win the titles. We always train hard. We always get ready for the best. So in the training camps, I will say maybe the game plan will be different because it depends the fighter I'm going against. But overall, we're always training hard. We always get ready for the best. Even when I was a champion and when I was going for the world titles or defending the titles, or even now that if this fight happens with Fulton, I'll be with more ganas because I really want him back.
Yeah, what changed in your mentality? Because I don't think that you are going to fight against Fulton with the same mentality as if you are going to fight against MJ.
No, I mean losses in life makes you even age matures you more. You don't think I don't think like I thought maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, or even after the loss. I mean, you mature. Uh, you know what you got to do now. You know what's more important, and adapt to the situations. Of course, you know my mentality is got to go out there, prove to everybody that still got it.
Nice.
There we go. All right. Well, Danny, we want to thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure, man. I hope you come on again. You know what I mean? And I really hope that the news comes out for everybody. They're going to be fighting Stephen Fulton. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and anything you want to say to the fans watching.
Yeah, no, I want to thank you guys for having me here tonight. Thank you, Hispanic Causing Panic, once again for having me here. I want to thank all my fans as well. You can follow me on social media. I'll keep you updated. Instagram _babyfaceassassin_. You can follow me on Twitter at Team Roman Boxing, and I'll keep everybody updated. Once they give us the news or something comes up or a fight comes up, follow me and I'll keep everybody updated. And thank you guys once again, and thanks to all my fans.
Absolutely, man. You have a good one, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
All right. The one and the only Danny Roman. You know what I mean? Hey, let me tell you something. I'm a fan of Danny Roman. Right? I am. He reminds me a little bit of. Does he remind you of Marquez when he fights?
That's what I was gonna. I kind of said that, like, because he when Marquez fought Pacquiao, how he didn't get the credit, and it kind of reminds me sometimes with him because he's had like 2 split decision losses. Had a split draw. Had a one of his other losses, he lost by 2 points on all 3 cards.
Sure.
So when you have that counterpunching style, it's like a love-hate relationship with the judges. They either love that style or they don't, or they hate that style. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree. That's a very good comparison, and I was kind of alluding to that a little bit with that question. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Babe, I just want to ask you one question before we let you go here, brother. Well, 2 questions. You talked about this on Ringside Report already, but really quick, do you think that Danny Jacobs was robbed in the UK in his fight with John Ryder? Would you classify that as a robbery?
No, I didn't classify it as a robbery. And the interesting thing is, I scored the fight 7 rounds to 5 for Jacobs. Eric scored the fight 7 rounds to 5 for Jacobs, and ringside Robert had it 7-5 to Jacobs. But I don't know if you listened to the conversation that we had, but Robert gave rounds 1 and 6 to Ryder, and I gave those rounds to Jacobs, right? And I gave Ryder 9 and 10, and Robert gave 9 and 10 to Jacobs. So if he flipped those 2 rounds and I flipped my 2 rounds, then it's possible to have it 7-5 for Ryder. You know what I mean? So We both got to the 7-5 scorecard for Jacobs, but we got there in different ways. So there were some swing rounds. I thought I gave the 6th round to Jacobs, but I could have given that to Ryder. Round 1, could have maybe could have gone either way too. I kind of thought Jacobs won that. Yeah. So I don't think that was a robbery at all, and I don't think it's fair to Ryder to call that a robbery. And Jacobs wasn't really disgusted at the end of that fight. Neither was his trainers. They knew the fight was close. Everyone there knew the fight was close. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I thought when the scores were announced, I thought it was going to be like a split draw. I thought one judge was going to have it at least a draw. You know what I mean? So I was surprised that Ryder actually got the decision. I didn't think he was going to get the decision. I thought it was going to be Jacobs or it was going to be a draw.
What do you think, Boxing Dev? What you think of the fight? And do you think it was close? Do you think it was a robbery? What did you score for?
I only watched a few rounds because my server was broken. My illegal server was broken. But I think it was a close fight. It was a close fight.
Okay, fair enough. Right. And by the way, guys, Boxing Dev here on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, okay? If you guys want to subscribe, and of course, Ringside Reporter, make sure you subscribe. I just want to ask both of you just about this fight here, okay? Now you're gonna get mad, but I need to share this, okay? I need to share what I saw, all right? I need to share with the public, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, we're all gonna watch this, okay? So, Kell Brook's trainer, he had the sweaty shirt. They put it in the mug, and then he
didn't drink it. He didn't drink it.
And then he did it. He drank it. This is unbelievable.
That's gross. That's worse than Marquez drinking his piss, because at least he drank his own piss. He didn't drink someone else's piss.
Jesus, look, he squeezed the sweat into the mug, and then he drank it.
Boxing Dev, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you were in love with the guy, would you drink his sweat?
I won't kiss him again. Never.
Oh God.
Never. Why he did that? Oh my God, that's disgusting.
That's gross.
But he believes. You know what I mean? So the question of the day is. All right, I'm going to put up here, and I want to know what the chat thinks, by the way. I want to know what the chat thinks. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I want to know what y'all think. Who did it better? By the way, Remy says, great interview. I appreciate it, brother. Much appreciated. I want you guys to tell me right now, all right, who did it better? Which one's worse, Beeb? Marquez drinking his own urine, or this dude drinking the trainer of Kell Brook drinking Kell Brook's sweat?
Well,
Marquez.
That's worse, drinking the sweat, because if that pee at least came from Marquez. So if you ask me what would I rather do, drink my own pee or drink someone else's sweat, I'd rather drink my own pee.
Right.
I'd put
and then it's the sweat on the shirt too, you know what I mean? And he's just squeezing it in there.
Gross,
Let's see, which one's worse to you? Which one's worse?
I
no
think.
comment.
Okay, Marquez. Sorry, I want to vomit.
We'll take it out the screen. Go ahead.
Marquez is drinking his own pee, and I think, okay, por más asqueroso que sea, I don't know how do you say that in English.
As disgusting as it is, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as disgusting as it is, I think to drink something that is of you, it's better to drink something that is from another person. I think it's disgusting.
Right. And it's like boxing gym sweat too. You know what I mean? It's like he was probably sparring dudes against him and stuff.
Think about it. That sweat has permeated for an hour. So that's the worst type of sweat. It's not fresh sweat. That's old sweat.
So okay, who was your biggest crush when you were in high school? What model or singer was your biggest crush?
You're asking me that?
Yes.
You know who I loved when I was growing up? Vanessa Williams, the
all right.
Miss USA.
Vanessa Williams, would you, if she was working out and took off her shirt and squeezed it into a mug, would your hubby drink her sweat?
Back then, probably, but not now.
Come on. You don't want to admit that.
I was very impressionable back then. I would have done a lot of stupid things.
Hey, Lucia, is there any amount of money that could pay you to drink somebody's sweat?
No,
$1 billion.
She wouldn't do it. She's not gonna do it.
no,
$1
no.
billion.
For example, if I have to drink something that is from me, I will. It doesn't matter. But I don't know which kind of things had the other person on his body or things like that. So if it's something for me, yes, I will. Bacteria, yes. Disgusting that. I told you offline, I used to be an artistic gymnastic and I used to put my pee on my hands when they were hurt, completely hurt. So I used to put my pee on my hands to save it, para curarlos.
Okay. Because I know Vitaly would use his baby's urine. Like, he would save the diapers and like dip his fingers in it. Or his knuckles. It helped his hands. I don't know. Everyone has their own thing. But Marquez took it to the next level. Right? Marquez, like, drank it. And by the way, Marquez was classy about a nice glass. No paper cup. Nice glass. You know what I mean? He peed on it. And he was such an expert at pouring it that there was nothing spilled around it. Think about that. Okay, nice
He didn't waste any of the nutrients. He didn't waste any of the nutrients.
He sat it down. He sat down. Okay, he put his ankle on his knee. He just like chilled for a little bit. You know what I mean? Just thought about his opponent, and then he's just like, and then Marquez went like this. He went like this. he went like, and then but this dude took it to another level. He took Kell Brook's sweat. They poured it in. And by the way, Kell Brook touched it with his dirty hands too, and you know what I mean. On top of that, and then it's on the mug, right? They did wash the mug though, just so you know. They did. Lo lavaron el mug.
You know that they swapped the glass out. Did they swap a glass out and he drank water?
So I don't think so, brother. But
really
then
drank the sweat?
He drank it, and then he went like he went like I'm just like thinking, well, what's going on over here?
He felt completely strong when he drank it.
A lot of salt in that too.
Writing Yogi's asking, why did he drink a sweat? I don't know. I can't, anyway, Remy says sweatinade versus urinade. The bacteria is absolutely, man. Absolutely. But to the real topic, is it important that does Amir Khan do everyone a favor and beat Kell Brook so this type of behavior stops, right? Remember when Marquez was, because he was drinking his urine when he was going to fight Floyd Mayweather, all right? Mayweather outboxed him, and then he dropped the urine thing. If he would have beat Mayweather while he was drinking his urine, every boxer on the planet would be drinking their urine right now, okay? And right now, we cannot have people believing that if you drink the sweat of your fighters, that you're going to become a better trainer or some shit. So Kell Brook needs to get destroyed by Amir Khan. It needs to happen.
I think Kell Brook's going to win, actually.
That cannot happen.
Who do you think's going to win, though? Who would you pick in this fight?
I got Khan.
You got Khan?
Let's see, who do you got?
I think the way they lost against Terence Crawford is going to say a lot who is going to win this fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I think if Kell Brook can punch completely hard Amir Khan is going to lose. Because if you watch the fight between Amir Khan and Terence Crawford, when Amir Khan get punched hard, he becomes completely desesperated. He doesn't know what to do. He lost his technique. He started to throw punches in any way without technique.
Falls apart.
Yeah. But and Kell Brook knows how to aprovechar that moment. He knows how to do that. But at the same time, Amir Khan is a really, really aggressive fighter. It's a good fight. Even a fall. Okay. He's a good fighter. He has a crystal jaw. Yeah, everybody knows. But he's a good fighter, and he can punch completely hard Kell Brook. And when Kell Brook was punched by Terence Crawford, he lost. He lost by knockout. Amir Khan wake it up, but Kell Brook didn't. So I think that's a lot of about this upcoming fight. It's a 50-50 fight. After round 3, I will tell you who is going to win.
Oh,
But
okay.
before I think,
The problem I have with Khan is he's got fast hands, but sometimes his hands get ahead of his feet and he leans too far forward. And he's always off balance a lot of times. And he always makes that one big mistake and he gets tagged and he never recovers from that big punch, you know? So I just think he's going to make that one big mistake. He's going to lean in too far. Kell Brook's just going to hit him with a straight right down the pike.
Damn.
And he's just going to turn the fight.
Just like that, huh? Just like, you know what I think? I feel this way. Amir Khan's hand speed is still there. Amir Khan is going to land on Kell Brook first. And I'm telling you right now, that eye is messed up. I was watching the face-off, and the eye looks messed up. Okay? And if Khan could pepper him and re-injure that eye, which I don't think it's going to be that hard, kind of similar to Margarito Cotto, all right? He's going to have a field day with
So you think Khan's got more left in the tank than Brook does?
I actually do think he does, yes.
Okay.
Because you know what? People could say about the chin. Look, I talk shit about his chin too, but
Yeah.
Canelo would have stopped Brook too.
Yeah.
yeah,
He
I
would have
think
knocked Brook out too. Go ahead.
anyone is going to punch Khan like Canelo did, and anyone is going to punch Brook like Golovkin did. But
Yeah.
I think I have a good point in this. Khan hasn't been fighting for 3 years, and Brook for less than 3 years, 2 years, or 1 year and a half. So I think that is going to make the difference because it's a lot of time with inactivity.
Look, first of all, I'm surprised Brook is the favorite. That's very surprising. I'm just seeing that in the chat right now. But Amir Khan, hopefully Brook can be weight trained, he says. Now, that is a concern. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that's something to keep an eye on. Okay. But hey, it is what it is. Hey, Lucia, aka Boxing Dev, tell everybody where they could find you, and on social media, YouTube, the whole nine, before we let you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invite. It was an amazing talk with Danny Roman and now with you. And everybody can find me in my YouTube channel, Boxing Dev, and on my Twitter, Lucia Malena BD. Thank you so much for the invite.
For sure. And you have a go. Everybody follow Boxing Dev here on YouTube. She does interviews and stuff, all that good stuff. And you talked to the fighter that's going to fight the Blonde Bomber, right?
Yes, I did.
So everybody check that out.
Yes, it's with subtitle because Cecilia Romani is from Argentina and she doesn't know how to speak English. So I put all of the subtitles on my video.
Right,
Let's check. Don't forget it.
Everybody, make sure you tune into her channel there. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. There we go. Boxing Dev, the one and the only. Let me tell you something, babe. I think Causin's going to pull it off. I think people are going to. I think you don't want to have eye problems.
A lot of people are picking Khan.
You don't want to have eye problems with a guy with hand speed. It's a nightmare.
So you think that maybe there's the vision's not all there.
I don't. I think.
Oh, you think that there's still a lot of scar tissue around there?
I think there's scar tissue for sure, but I think
swell up. You think he could swell up if he gets hit there?
He's broken both eyes, brother. Like Spence fight, the Gennady Golovkin fight.
Those are bad injuries. Those are
really bad injuries. And if people they're talking about Amir Khan's chin, but Khan didn't get sparked the way Brook did against Crawford. He didn't go out like that. Like he was going to go out like that, but still, you know what I mean?
He lasted longer with Crawford than Brook did.
Well, true, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, you know what I mean? I got Khan. I think Khan's going to pull this one off.
I'm going to take
because what will go first? You ever watch Dark Knight Rises?
Yes.
When Bane tells Batman, what will break first? What will break first? Your spirit or your body? You remember that part?
I do. I love that.
Yeah, right. So,
very good.
What will break first? Amir Khan's chin or Kell Brook's eye? That is the question that no one knows the answer to.
So you think because of the volume Khan's going to bring, if he hits that face, it's going to swell. It's going to swell up.
It's going to swell up. He's going to cut up. Okay.
Cut up.
Even the punches that miss are going to like burn.
Even the grazing shots are going to damage that eye, those eyes.
Absolutely. I think the hand speed's going to be a little bit too much. Now, granted, I'm not delusional. Obviously, if Kell Brook lands a nice clean one to the chin,
nice big right hand,
he could hurt him. You know what I mean? And I'll give Kell Brook this: when he hurts you, he can methodically break you down. He doesn't depend on one big quit, right?
Yeah.
One big quitter hitter, but still. So look, I want to talk about this. First of all, what do you make of Lomachenko? He has signed on the dotted line, and he didn't sign, according to the reports, babe. Your favorite disclosures, right? Your favorite part of the contracts. He even signed a rematch clause to happen in Australia, right? So he's giving Cambozas everything, right? He signed the side of the deal. Camboza is still thinking about it and weighing his options, right? So, do you think the fight's going to happen with Loma?
No, I think Kambosos is going to wait for Ryan Garcia because that's what Lou DiBella wants. I think he'll wait around till about July or so, late July, and he'll fight Ryan Garcia if Ryan Garcia gets passed to go. I honestly don't think Lou DiBella wants any part of Lomachenko or Devin Haney right now. Now, I think Devin Haney's probably going to be the last in line. I think it's going to be Garcia.
Or it's going to move up.
Yeah, Devin Haney's going to move to 140, probably, yeah. And it's a shame because I don't think anyone really wants to fight Devin Haney because we talked about this. Even, it's just a style where you may not be afraid that you're going to get hurt in that fight, but it's a style where you feel like you may get frustrated and even embarrassed. It's one of them styles that you don't look forward to going up against, But
let me ask you this.
As a fighter.
If let's say the fight happened with Loma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out it's because he was willing to take less money. He was willing to fight in Australia. He was willing to give in more, right?
Yeah.
Should we have any sympathy for Devin Haney? Like, doesn't sympathy have its limits? Like at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what's being put out there now is Devin Haney is being hard to work with, but Eddie Hearn is refuting that. So I don't know who to believe. Obviously Eddie Hearn's going to say what he has to say to support Devin Haney, and Kambosos is going to say what he has to say, and Lou DiBella is going to say what he has to say, to support their side. But if it's true that Devin Haney is asking for a boatload of money and is asking for everything under the sun, and if he is pricing himself out, then you're 100% correct. It's going to be hard to have sympathy for him. But Lomachenko has been that guy who's always, been really
easy to work with,
and he's willing to give in to other fighters' demands in order to make a fight. Because he did it with Teofimo Lopez, He didn't even have a rematch clause in that fight.
No. And he signed a rematch clause here, supposedly.
Yeah, so he didn't even really utilize his full leverage against Teofimo Lopez when he could have.
Now, if we keep it with these guys, what would it say about Kambosos if he doesn't sign this? If it's true that Loma already signed his part of the deal that they offered and he still doesn't sign, what does that say? Is that like an admittance of like, look, this guy's going to beat me, so I'm not going to fight him?
He can always say, well, if everything you're saying is true, if it's a rematch clause and it's going to be
in Australia,
it'll be a bad look.
I think it would be a bad look because then there's the he said, she said of the Haney side, right?
Yeah. And
that one's like, okay, he said, she said. But then this one's like, well, this other dude signed to fight you, right? And it's, why didn't you sign? Like I don't know. It would look kind of weak if he waits for Ryan Garcia.
But here's my other argument, and I think Mario made this argument on Thursday last week.
Okay.
He already beat the man. He had a big, tough fight with Teofimo Lopez.
Right.
Should we be mad at him if he takes maybe a lesser fight in his first defense? Should he have to go right back into another? Should he have to go right back into another tough fight?
Yes, because it's not like he went through the gauntlet to get his title shot. You know, it's not like he faced any top 10 dude on his way there. In other words,
like Canelo had that Yildirim fight. He had that Rocky Fielding fight in between the bigger fights.
True.
A lot of fighters will do that. They'll have like a lower level. Maybe.
So you'll give him one homecoming fight, like just.
I'll give him one homecoming fight. Yeah.
Okay.
I give it to him.
It depends, though. It depends how long he makes his weight. That's the thing.
Well, you're gonna have to wait till July. He's not gonna fight. He's not gonna fight April or May. He's not gonna fight in June either. He's gonna probably have to fight. He's probably have to wait for July, which is common now. Like fighters are taking like 8 months in between fights now. Look at AJ and Usyk. That fight's supposedly gonna happen in June, right? When did they fight? When did they fight last? When was their fight? Was their fight in October?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So think about the space in between that. Look at Tyson Fury and Dillian White. When they're going to be getting it on in April?
Yeah.
And when did Tyson Fury fight last? October.
October as well. Yeah.
Right. So
I'm trying to remember which one happened first. Actually, wasn't it November, the Teofimo one?
The Teofimo one was in November.
It was in November. Okay.
Yeah. So you got December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So it would be 8 months. You know what I mean?
Right, so Ryan Garcia, speaking of Ryan, so much news with the lightweight division is just filled with so much news. Leaving Adrian and also he's going to go with Joe Goosen. How do you feel about that?
I think Ryan Garcia is going to be that guy, sort of like how De La Hoya did it. He's bounced from trainer to trainer. I think Garcia is going to do the same thing. I think he's going to bounce from trainer to trainer. He's always going to find a reason or an excuse to blame the trainer. And I'm not saying he's blaming Reynoso, but I don't like the mentality of him saying that I have to build my own brand, almost implying that he was playing second fiddle to everyone else over there.
Right.
It's like he wants to be the main guy at the gym instead of being around winners and feeding off their energy and looking at guys who have more experience than you and learning from them and getting better off of that. It seems like he wants to leapfrog ahead of all that and jump the gun here and just expedite the process. And he just wants to. He's acting like he's just like he's done. He's acting like he's done more than he's done, and he's putting himself in the position as if he's been a multi-weight champion. The way he's acting is like he's accomplished when he really isn't accomplished yet.
He's not that accomplished. I mean, even his best win has already been defeated. In other words, you know what I mean? Like, his best win, Luke Campbell, right? He's already been defeated by Linares. He's already been defeated by Lomachenko.
Yeah, and it was a great
guess what?
fight.
He didn't drop those dudes.
Yeah, it was a great fight. Great comeback. It was an emphatic
win.
win.
But when your best win has already been defeated twice, like recently,
and the argument could be that wasn't even the best version of Campbell. Right? No. You can argue he may have had one foot out the door. And I don't want to diminish the guy and diminish the performance, but you're right. I mean, an argument could be made. With things you're saying are definitely valid.
No, most definitely. One more question before I let you go. Jermall Charlo was arrested, right? Has this, and then he was, he put bail. He's out now, right? But he has got court March 28th, right? Me personally, I have a hard time seeing Canelo like, oh yeah, I'll sign a fight you when the fight could be canceled March 28th, right? Has he lost a golden ticket?
I'm going to be honest with you, and you can agree or disagree with me. I just don't think Charlo was ever going to be next for Canelo. I just never thought it was going to happen anyway. I thought there was a lot of smoke and mirrors. I thought it was just Coppinger putting out stuff that wasn't true. And this definitely, takes him out of the running. I agree. Yeah. I mean, this definitely takes him out of the running. And, it's pretty sad, the situation with Charlo, but what are you going to do?
Hopefully, it's look. He wouldn't be the first boxer that's been arrested.
No, I mean, and again, I'm not the type of guy to kick someone when they're down. I'm not gonna.
Right, and we don't know the situation too.
Don't know the story. I'm not gonna sit there and
it's got to go to court. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know.
I don't know what happened. I'm not gonna take secondhand information and run with it. I'm not gonna be overzealous with this. I just hope he gets things worked out.
Should he have a 1 in the Al column if he loses the court case though? Gosh. I want to thank you for coming on, brother. Everybody tune into Ringside Reporter every Sunday. That's 6 p.m. Eastern time every Sunday. And you can also catch the Beeb on the Roundtable every Thursday. He'll be hosting not this week, not the next, but the week after. But there you go. Okay, so
a
couple weeks. But you catch him on the Roundtable this week on Maestro A Boxing. So make sure you catch him there. Have a good one, brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. I had a good time.
Absolutely. Well, there you go, guys. That's show a B. But let's get this started, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not done. Right? No, sir. El dragón no ha parado de hablar. The D-Style Boxing ain't done, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. We're going to dive deep into this Jermall Charlo Canelo thing. By the way, Mungia, Ballard, okay, Mungia's going to win. There you go, okay? Well, we'll talk about that later in the week. Hopefully on the Roundtable. Just putting that out there, okay? Shout out to Mungia. Just not that excited about the fight. Sorry, okay? Jermall Charlo arrested. He has court on the 28th. But we got channels out here like Jermall Charlo gets arrested. And they're talking about the time that Canelo was involved in some domestic dispute with a stablemate or / family member. I don't know the exact story there. All right. And he beat up a little boxer, back in the day when he was in his early 20s. You know what I mean? Back in his prime, as some of the channels you like to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Jermall Charlo is the one that we're in 2022. We're not in 2008. We're not in 2012, 2014. 2022. 2022. So because Charlo did something, we need to dig up stuff on Canelo? Is that what we need to do all of a sudden? Is that the thing? Well, look, he did it too. So what if Canelo was involved in a dispute back in the day? Well, what does that have to do with anything? Drew Titan? What does that have to do with anything? Speaking of, so you're telling me right now, that now, since it looks like the fight's not going to happen, right? Whether you believe it was going to happen or not, well, whatever the case is, right? Because you don't think the fight's going to happen now. Now he's ducking. 4 weeks ago, when the news came out that the Coppinger came out capping, like always, right? Shout out to Coppinger, right? When he came out, he said, "You know what, everybody, the fight's going to happen. It's a done deal. It's imminent." Apparently, Coppinger doesn't know what the word imminent means, by the way, right? It's all but finished. I guess he doesn't really know what that means. Right? Like he just uses these phrases that get attention, whatever, right? It is what it is. But when that news story came out, all I heard was, he wants to fight Charlo because he came off a tough fight with Molina. So now it's Charlo's fault that he had a tough fight. I'm sorry, it's Canelo's fault that he had a tough fight with Molina, right? Canelo needs to wait around till people have a great performance and then be like, I'm going to fight him. Like he needs to, that's the clock Canelo needs to be on. Like, wait for a dude to have a spectacular performance against a great opponent and then jump at the opportunity to fight him. Right? Well, first of all, none of these dudes are fighting spectacular spectacular opponents. None of them are having spectacular performances because in order to have a spectacular performance, you gotta have it against a good opponent, right? In my opinion, that's the bar I have. That's the bar I believe in. All right. That's what I believe in. This is D-style boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Hispanics causing panic. HCP 93. Hit my like button. Share this video on the social media platform. Check it out. And I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the chat. What do you see? Was it just me? Was it just me, ladies and gentlemen? Like, oh, but D-style. Who said that, D-style? I never saw that, D-style. What do you mean, D-style? People weren't saying that. There were motherfuckers saying that Canelo's cherry picking Charlo, okay? Because he picked him to, obviously, because the story from Coppinger came out. He is cherry picking Charlo. Charlo just had a tough fight with the unbelievable fighter in Molina. I mean, he just had a tough fight, gentlemen. I mean, my God, we had to do something about that. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, such a tough fight. He had such a tough outing. He's cherry picking him. This fight was a big fight back in 2018. Not now. They give Canelo like windows, by the way. Like Canelo could have a decade of a career, right? Like Canelo could still be doing great things, you know? But all these other guys have like this small window. Like how good are these dudes if they only have like a 2-year window when they're good? Let's just think about that, right? Like how good are you if you're only that good, if you're only that dude for like 2 years, right? So from 2017 to 2018, that was a time Canelo should have fought him. And he didn't fight him. He should have fought him, and he didn't fight him. So you're not going to get any credit if you decide to fight him. But if you don't fight him, we're going to keep saying you ducked him. What type of stupid logic is that? What type of an idiotic, retarded, stupid, idiotic logic is that, ladies and gentlemen? Uno tiene que ser un piso idiota. Son idiotas. What the hell's going on over here? What do you mean? So, like it's crazy to me how Charlo could be a cherry pick, and then depending on what the rumors are, all of a sudden Canelo's ducking him. Southpaw doing videos out here. Oh, the disgrace of Canelo. He's ducking Charlo. Then this news comes out, or actually, let me backtrack a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen. Let me backtrack. It's announced that Canelo's going to possibly fight. Possibly, right? He's possibly going to fight. Oh, actually, before I talk about the Bivol fight, I like this comment. Shout out, thank you for the membership, brother. Remy in the building. D-Style, they bring up Floyd loss like it was last year. He lost to Floyd Mayweather in 2013. Dude. 2013, brother. He lost to Mayweather. Like, by their logic, like, and they say that was Canelo's prime, by the way, right? Like, Canelo's prime was when he was Bam's age. That's crazy. But according to these dudes, like, you only have like a 2-year window. Like, Floyd fought him. Like, this is what they say. No, Floyd fought him at his absolute best. Canelo will never be as good. He only digress from there. He didn't get better. Like, ain't nobody believe, like, you can't get better from the age of 23. But that's not here nor there, right? But so his 2-year window, his 2-year time to make an impact was right there. That was the window, ladies and gentlemen, from age 23 to, let's say, 25. So Canelo's been way past that prime. Canelo's been way past that, ladies and gentlemen. That's just been passing. Like a NASCAR race. You know, like, Like that, it just passed. And it keeps passing. So all these fighters, they only have like a small window when they're good. He should have fought Charlo back in 2018. He's not the same no more. Like, he's not the same no more. Like, he hasn't done shit. What, he just expired like some fucking milk on the refrigerator or what? He's not good no more. He's the same age as Canelo with less fights. Nowhere near as good opposition. What do you mean no good no more? But they forgot about all that. All that was forgotten, right? All that was forgotten, right? The moment, right, that it was rumored that Canelo's going to be fighting Bivol and Triple G in a rematch. All the time. Right? That's when it came up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, but D-Style, you don't understand. D-Style, shut up. All right, sit down. A lot of you don't understand. A lot of you need to do a lot more listening, okay? And a lot less talking is what a lot of you need to start doing. You be contradicting yourselves, all right? Oh, see, he don't want to fight no American fighter. And we know what they mean by that, okay? Canelo's scared. Canelo is scared. He's going to go fight another Euro bum. This is unbelievable. He's ducking everybody. He's ducking Charlo. He knows he doesn't want to deal with Charlo. He knows he doesn't want to do that. Charlo's athletic, right? He don't want no piece of Charlo. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Okay, hit my like button. That's number one. Listen to me. Listen very hard. Okay? Then this news comes out. Charlo gets arrested. Somehow it's Canelo's fault. Right? I saw the videos. People were making jokes about this is a conspiracy. Canelo was behind it. But yeah, people are blaming Canelo. I see it. All right? So, get this. We got dudes out here, the narrative reigners, the narrative rainmakers, right? They're out here. The rainmen are out here, right? Talking about, all right, just talking about this. You see, now Canelo's going to use this as an excuse to not fight Charlo. Okay, so you want Canelo to commit to a fight in May with Charlo, right? That's what you want him to do. When there's a possibility, right? There's a possibility that he can get convicted on the 28th of March and be on either house arrest or go to jail, right? You want Canelo to, with something out of his control, you want him to somehow be responsible for that. You want him to commit to that. When Canelo has options, you think he's going to do that when the dude has options? He's got options. He doesn't need to do that. Canelo could do whatever the fuck he wants to do. That's number one. That doesn't mean he abuses that. Because all his options are better than any of the guys these dudes are fighting. By far. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to take the pledge. It is time to take the pledge. This is the Ring Magazine. This is the Bible of boxing. Raise your right hand and take the pledge. If you don't already know the pledge, then you don't know. Those that know, know. But this is what the pledge is. Okay? Put your right hand up and tell me who you feel Canelo should fight. Is it Charlo? Is Charlo the one he should fight? Should he fight Jermall Charlo? Are you one of the people that think he should fight Beterbiev? Are you one of the people that feel he should fight Benavidez? Are you one of the people that feel he should fight Bivol? Are you one of the people that feel you should fight Makabu? Are you one of the people that feel you should fight Gennady Golovkin in a trilogy? Are you one of the people that feel you should fight Boo Boo Andre? I don't give a fuck who the name is. Tell me who the name is. All right? And I want you to take the pledge. Raise your right hand and say, I. Then say your name. I, D-Style Boxing, swear to give Canelo credit if he beats. And then fill in the blank. Give me the name. Who's the guy you wanted to fight? Charlo? If he fights Charlo, I will give Canelo his credit. And I will join the Canelo movement in giving him credit. I will stop the crap. Well, you're still swearing. I will stop the crap. And I will join forces with you and telling all those people calling this fight a cherry pick, because I wanted to see it, that they're full of shit and that they should give Canelo Alvarez his credit. That's what they should do. Because there's no consistency, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm starting to sound like a broken record at this point. Group over there, we could make gangs out of this shit. Like, all bullshit aside, like we got the jokers over there, they feel that he should fight Jermall Charlo, right? And they think they don't want to see the Triple G fight. They don't want to see him fight no Europeans like Bivol or Better Beeve. Those guys are Euro bums, right? Oh, but what's over here? Oh, well, we got the Crips over here. You know? They want to see, they want to see him fight Bivol because Bivol's a mover. They don't want to see the Better Be fight. Better Be's tailor-made for Canelo. He comes forward too much. He's tailor-made. You know what I mean? Bivol's going to give him problems. Bivol's going to move around the ring. He's going to give him problems. He's a mover. 1-800 Bivol movers. One of the best moves you ever do. They'll take a fucking fish tank to the third floor for you. That's what Bivol movers will do for you. Oh, this group over here, they don't want to see him fight no Charlo. Charlo's an easy fight. What a fucking cherry pick that is. He's an Ameribum. That's what he is. All right, cool. So you want to see, and then you want to see this, right? And they both hate Canelo, by the way. You know what I mean? Make no mistake about it. Like it's the way it is. Like, people that despise each other have one thing in common, like on these streets, is hating Canelo. Like, all bullshit aside. They even congregate with one another once in a while. Like, oh man, I was giving an opinion about Canelo and they attacked me. You know what I mean? They attacked me too, bro. You know what I mean? Well, I was going at it, but yeah, this Canelo thing's getting out of hand. And then, right? And then you got that group over there. Los Aztecas, it was just a bunch of fucking gangs over here, MCL over there. So what do you guys want? What do you want to see? Benavides! He needs to fight Benavides! That's who he needs to fight. Hey, but these dudes over here say Benavides is tailor-made for him. That is an easy fight for Canelo. You know what I mean? They're saying that they're not going to give him any credit because that's a cherry pick. We don't give a fuck what they say. And I don't want to see no Charlo fight. I don't want to see no Euro bum fight. It's Benavides. Oh, okay, cool. So you want to see him fight Charlo. Everyone else is a bum. You want to see Bivol. Everybody else is a bum. You want to see Benavides. Everyone else is. What do you want? We got the Russian mob over here. What do you want? You want a what? Look over here. The dudes over here. The Russian gang over here, they want to see another fight with Triple G. All right? He's from Kazakhstan. He's not from Russia. They're different countries. Like, shut the fuck up. How about that? But here's the thing. Triple G, everybody, nobody wants to see the Triple G fight. But you want to see Triple G? You say Fight Stun is like the leader of this group over here. You want to see the Triple G? Nobody wants to see the Triple G fight no more. Oh, he's tucking Triple G. He's running scared. He's running scared. He don't want to fight no Triple G. He knows he lost both fights. He knows Triple G will beat him the third fight. But what about a Benavidez fight? No, Benavidez is tailor-made. He gets hit too much. He will lose. Oh, but what about Bill? Bivol! Bivol's boring. We don't want to see the Bivol fight. This is what we are dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're dealing with. This right here. There's no one fighter Canelo could pick, right? Oh, that other group over there, they want to see him fight Bubu Andre. All these other groups are saying that Bubu Andre is a cherry pick fight. So which one is it? So that's why I'm asking for the pledge. That's why I'm asking that you come out and say, you know what? I'm going to take the pledge. I'm going to take the pledge because I want to see him fight. So this group over here takes the pledge. Once he beats Charlo, then you got to join us. You know what I mean? Once he beats Triple G, come over here. You got to join us. Thank you. Once he beats Benavidez, get over here. You know what I mean? This other group over here, they want to see him fight, Beterbiev, right? Oh, one side says Beterbiev is tailor-made for him. The other side says he will never fight Beterbiev, right? Okay, you know what? If he beats him, you're going to come here. You're going to join us, right? Stop being pussies. Take the pledge, okay? And I don't want to hear no dumb shit like, well, I want to see him fight Beterbiev, but it has to be between 3 months from now and no more than 9 months from now because he's got the cut, so he better not fight him while he's fresh off a cut, but he better not wait longer than 9 months because he's going to get older. And I'm going to give him more credit if he gets older because that's just the way I roll. Everybody else has a small window when they're still good, but Saul Canelo Alvarez, ladies and gentlemen, like he stays good forever, I guess. He like there's no small window. Okay, all these dudes, every single one of them, all right, apparently aren't that good because there's a small window when they're good. Unbelievable. But get this: in one hand, somebody sent me a part of this stream, and I heard it, and one end they were saying, "Oh, Canelo's going to use it as an excuse to not fight Charlo," right? But then they go like this: "I'm not even shitting you," all right? Then they go like this: "But Canelo might fight him because Charlo's going through all these problems, he's going through all these problems, so he's going to try to catch Charlo while he's weak. So Canelo might fight him. So I'm going to give him no credit for not fighting him. He's ducking him if he doesn't fight him. But if he fights him, it's only because he wants to get him while he's vulnerable and distracted with his court thing." What the fuck is this? Is this the Twilight Zone? What the fuck is this? What's going on? I don't get it. You're tuning to Hispanics Causing Panic. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. But that's all I had, guys. Those that came in earlier, make sure you check out the Danny Roman interview. Make sure you do that. Don't forget to take the pledge. Let me know who do you want to see Canelo fight? Who do you want to see Canelo fight? Who can he fight that you say, you know what, I'll give him credit for fighting him. And that's it. That's all I want to know. All right? That's all I want to know. So we all need to understand it, ladies and gentlemen. All right? There's dudes out here that will say anything on the internet, okay? And if it's it doesn't even matter, they're contradicting themselves last week and this week. Okay? It doesn't even matter if it doesn't make sense. Because at the end of the day, they have one interest in mind, right? They just want to undermine everything Canelo does, no matter what. We're not talking about constructive criticism. We're not talking about just not liking the fight that he's going to fight. We're talking about changing the narrative depending on what Canelo does. And I think that's a bunch of horse shit. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. It's my opinion. There's nothing wrong with criticizing Canelo. I criticize Canelo here and there, right? But when you have active narratives against the guy, when you build lose-lose scenarios for Canelo with these narratives, he's ducking Charlo when it looks like he's going to fight Bivol. He's cherry-picking Charlo because Charlo's vulnerable right now when it's rumored that he's going to fight Charlo. Pick up on those patterns, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up on those patterns. Those patterns will tell you everything. Nobody ever says, oh, I'm going to contradict myself. Last week I said this, but I'm going to say this now. People think that things that are said last week are lost in the archives and nobody's going to remember. Like, no, believe me, it's very noticeable when Canelo's ducking videos are everywhere, right? And then a week later, when it looks like he's going to fight another dude, he's going to fight some Russian, okay, Bivol, right? All of a sudden, Canelo's ducking, Canelo's scared, Canelo doesn't want to fight Charlo, right? There are guys out there that have given the names, so shout out to them. You know what I mean? Lion Killer, he's been consistent. He said, I want to see him fight Charlo or Beterbiev, right? So he's given his name. I just want to know the name. Just give me a name. And when he beats that guy, you have to take the pledge. You're not going to be doing this nonsense no more. Mad Dog, Canelo's ducking Monster because he won't come down to Inoue's weight. Absolutely. Everything is fault. It's his fault that Beterbiev or Beterbiev. I do think it's Beterbiev, by the way. But nonetheless, so it's his fault. Beterbiev. We said Beterbiev earlier. It's his fault. All right. It's completely his fault. All right. That Beterbiev's old. It's his fault that Charlo had a tough fight with Molina, and he was only Charlo was only good from 2018 to 2019. Like, that's retarded, bro. Right? I'm just telling you right now. It's his fault, or it's all Canelo's fault that Bubu Andre's never fought a champion in his career. It's his fault. Right? Everybody else in boxing finds ways to fight champions, but Bubu Andre can't find a way to do it. It's all Canelo's fault that Bubu Andre and Charlo got nobody to fight. You know, like you know what I mean? Like, they can't fight each other. It's all his fault. Blame Saul Canelo Alvarez. It is his fault. Key Boomerang. Beterbiev has the most devastating power on 6-inch stance. Oh, did he mean 6 foot or 6 inches? Okay, only in any division. Ted has said he only seen Joe Louis with that power from a 6-inch distance. Teddy Addis was in a corner of Wojcik. I mean, I don't know about that. Like, I think he has a more like a clubbing punch, in my opinion. Like, they're short and they're powerful, but I don't know if it's like the most devastating 6-inch punch I've ever seen. I don't know about that. I'm not ready to make that statement personally. You know what I mean? But there we go, guys. Ya tiene una pegada de 6 pulgadas. Mata a un hombre. ¡Pah! You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy, bro. You know what I mean? He's got heavy hands. You know what I mean? So I'm just not prepared to say, that. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, point taken, I guess. Look, the GOAT, to you, Andre, is a joke, but to other people, like he's the dude that can never lose a fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy to me. We settle all this. Like, I go through these examples, right? If these guys were fighting each other, right? And by the way, I'm not excusing Canelo from fighting, being in the mix as well, right? I want, this is the mix. I want Canelo in the mix, right? But right now, they all need to be in the mix, right? Not, this is what they're doing right now in boxing, okay? Imagine if, when Kobe and Shaq were dominating, right? In the NBA. They didn't have to go through the playoffs, right? The Sacramento Kings didn't have to go through the playoffs. The Pacers didn't have to go to the playoffs. The Spurs didn't have to go to the playoffs. Nobody had to go to the playoffs, right? You just had to wait and do nothing. Just keep playing teams like like when the Bobcats sucked, and just keep playing teams like like that. You know what I mean? Keep playing like just keep busy with teams, and then everybody's just looking at Kobe and Shaq like, well, come on, do something. You got all these dudes to beat. Come on, right? And they want them to go through everybody. Like, you got to beat the Sacramento Kings. You got to beat, the Pacers. You got to beat whoever, the Suns. You got to get through the Utah Jazz. You got to beat all of them. The Spurs. They don't need to play each other at all. You got to play them all. Are you fucking shitting me? That's not the way it runs. So whenever I say, yo, these dudes got to start fighting each other, man. Oh, so he's protecting Canelo. Nah, I want Canelo in the mix too. I want Canelo to fight the dudes too, right? But like, everybody fight everybody. Now, not just Canelo fight everybody. This isn't Dickstown. Have you guys seen the movie Dickstown? That's not what this is. You should have to line them up and I'll just beat them all one by one. That's crazy. We're what process of elimination, right? Okay, Canelo's going to fight Bivol. Let's say he's going to fight Bivol. I don't know what to fight. It doesn't matter. Okay, Charlo. Who should Charlo fight? Well, he could fight whoever he wants. Like how about he fights Bubo Andrade? And then he fights Bubo Andrade to unify. And that makes it becomes a little more clear who Canelo might have to fight. Better be fight Bivol. He said he's going to fight Smith, right? So no more like Canelo fights Smith and then Beterbiev. No, how about Beterbiev and Smith fight each other while Canelo fights Bivol and then the winners fight each other. Okay? Like that's the way things should be. That's the way things should run. I am holding Canelo to the same standard as everybody else. Everybody start fighting each other. Start unifying. Stop aiming for undisputed. That's what you should be doing. Oh, but Canelo, well, what happened to undisputed in middleweight, huh? At least he unified. A lot of these dudes haven't even unified yet. Who cares if he didn't unify, if he didn't become undisputed at 154 and 160? So what? Crawford didn't become undisputed at 135, but he became undisputed at 140. So fucking what? All I want is a lie to be pointed out. That's all I want. All I want is consistency. 1 minute, this happened with the Caleb Plant thing. He went for undisputed. All of a sudden, dudes that always cared about undisputed didn't care about undisputed. No credit. He didn't do it at 160. Well, did he do that for Crawford when he didn't do it at 135, but he did it at 140? No, but that's different. Well, why is it different? I wonder why. Okay? And then look, we need to stop the madness, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. We need to stop the madness is what we need to do. All right? So I'll leave you guys with that. Make of it what you will. Shout out to Key Boomerang, the GOAT Mario, Remy, Christian NWO, JC, Miguel Mondragon, the GOAT Mario P, boxing fan on here says Teddy Atlas is overrated. All right. Chief Funky Boxing, Mad Dog H, JC, all you guys, man, I appreciate. Shout out to Joe B for joining me earlier, and to Lucia, aka Boxing Dave. I appreciate her as well. That's all I got. I went through everything. You know what I mean? Went through all. This is D-Style Boxing. Keep it boxing, guys. I'm out.
Eleven.